Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with a final Screenwriter's Rant. Little Joan is out of control. I had to put the blanket on her. This is a comedy movie called Take Me to Tarzana. Low budget. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Please, if you'd like to support the channel, I've been demonetized. Might get back in March, but in the meantime, please check out my books, Wokistan, a novel, and Hollywoke, another novel. Links in the description. Political satire, and of course, the Pineys, comedy horror from South Jersey. Books 1 through 5 available now. Oh, and check me out on BitChute and Rumble, because who knows how long I'll be working here. Anyhow, Take Me to Tarzana is the name of the movie. Is it funny? The trailer tries to be funny. I don't know if it really succeeds. It seems very low budget. This is some sort of store. It kind of only sort of looks like a store. It doesn't look like a real store to me. This whole layout looks odd. Does this not look... It doesn't look like a store because... You know, if the background is supposed to be the front of the store, then I would expect to see like the parking lot and outside. So that's just a tip off to me that this isn't a real store. Maybe it's just a setup. So anyway, it's about this guy who has a terrible job. I assume he works in Tarzana, and he hates his life and he hates his boss. So it's pretty much a setup to Office Space, and his wacky neighbor, his stoner buddy. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this is a wig. This does not look like his real hair. it looks like they auditioned this guy. Like, okay, you're the funniest guy we auditioned. You're going to be the stoner. And then they put this wig on him. And it does not look like his real hair. Not to me. Anyhow, this is his buddy. And he is the straight-laced guy who's having a time. And this is the girl he's in love with. And apparently their boss is getting upskirts of the girl at work. And that's wrong, right? So they decide they're going to get back at him. So the stoner guy volunteers, and he's got this man bun going. That also looks fake. But he volunteers to distract the boss. And then he'll go in there and say, this is the way he shows up. See, he doesn't look like a real... Not like a real guy at all, right? Like, this looks like, well, we can't stuff all his hair under the hat. Then it'll look like he normally looks. So we're going to have to leave some of it hanging out. I know, he just looks weird. Doesn't look like he's seriously trying to disguise himself. But anyway, they break into the office to get some incriminating evidence on the boss or to delete the video of the girl. And they find out he's got a bunch of info on lots of people, maybe his clients or whatnot, some kind of illegal info. So they download it, and now they have something on the boss. And the girl says something like, this makes the Facebook hack look like nothing. I'm not sure the context here, but again, this all feels very low budget. Like this whole setup feels very low budget. But the boss is kind of a scumbag, and he finds out about it, I guess, eventually. And they've got this stuff on a hard drive, and I guess they sell it to this woman. I don't know. And they could end up going to jail. And, you know, he's saying the funny lines, which, you know, they're kind of funny, but they're not super funny. I don't know if he's a comedian. I guess they, you know, he almost kind of reminds me of Owen Benjamin, but I don't think that's him. When life F's you, F it back, right? So, and then this guy shows up, and I don't know. I guess he falls in love with that girl or whatever. But and then there's this weird flaming guy who's in it, which is really a throwback. That's not good comedy anymore. That it never really was, really. But you know, there was a time where that got big laughs for the boomers, but now, I mean, you know, flaming gay is just, it's just not funny, not realistic. It's very tropey. This was kind of a funny bit. the guy says to him, "How high are you?" And he pauses and then goes, "Pretty high." So that was funny. I mean, so maybe there's some laughs in this movie. It's kind of hard to tell. It's definitely, I think, low budget. They smash through the gate here. I guess they're making a wacky escape. And then this guy, I guess, is Tarzan of Tarzana. But here's the weird thing. So I looked at the credits, and it says Raya Investment Group presents. So, and the executive producer is Raya Investment Group. It's like, okay, this is a very corporate comedy, and it kind of feels that way because it's missing. It seems to be missing elements. It's not really hitting the marks. It's not. It's probably almost watchable in that sort of like I'm gonna watch a movie in the hotel way, but not like I have to see this movie. It's missing something. I'm not sure what. Written and directed by Maceo Greenberg. Yeah, I don't know if Maceo has the writing chops to write comedy. Quite frankly, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, he had a couple of bits, but I think you needed a real comedian in this. I'm not seeing it. Chris Coppola is in the credits. I don't know if he's related to the Coppolas, the big time movie Coppolas, but I'm not seeing anybody else that I recognize in these credits. So I think you needed to get a real comedian in this movie. Somebody who is a little famous, at least a little bit famous. Somebody to really kind of make the stoner character his own. And I'm not knocking the guy. The stoner character guy is kind of funny, so I'm not knocking him. But I don't think he's enough to carry the whole movie. Maybe you needed a better lead. Although, when you look at the lead of Office Space, he's great and everything, but it's sort of boring to be the lead guy because you're just really there to be handsome and average and relatable. You're not there to do the heavy lifting of the comedy. So like in Office Space, it's kind of like everybody around him is being hilarious, and he's just sort of being, your outlet for the movie, your window into the movie. He's supposed to represent the viewer, and everybody else around him is a crazy nut. And they got some pretty crazy nuts in Office Space. That's what this movie needed. It needed some more really memorable characters. And I'm not seeing it in this trailer. Now maybe they're in there, but the stoner guy almost makes me want to watch the movie. I'd be real close to watching the movie if I saw a few scenes. What I'd have to do is I'd have to start this movie, and I'd have to get a couple of laughs in the opening scene, or else I'd be out. I don't think I could sit through the whole movie just to wait for the stoner guy to do that one line, but. It's a nice attempt, but Raya Investment Group, I think, needs to invest in a comedy writer. And when you got the director and the writer doing everything, that's a lot. That's a lot to do. And I'm not knocking the director. It seems to be directed pretty well. And it is hard to direct comedy. So I'm not trying to bash these guys. I'm really not. But I think, maybe if you got some improv guys, some real improv comedian guys, and you got to kind of have an angle here. And I don't know if Tarzana is enough of an angle. I don't know anything about Tarzana other than it's in California. I mean, and I guess it's named after Tarzan. I don't know. But take me to Tarzana. Yeah, I don't know. But it looks like a decent movie. I think if Raya Investment Group made a few more movies, and maybe if they got Maceo some comedy writers, maybe you could really. I mean, because we need comedies. I want to like this movie. I really did. I went into this really rooting for this to be like a hilarious gem, and unfortunately, I'm not seeing it. It just looks mildly watchable. Yeah. Anyhow, Joan and I will see you tomorrow.